What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cass here, and we are here for episode 0 of UKW. I guess the draft. Yeah, this is a different kind of video, guys. Episode 0 of season 9. Last year we did the draft a little bit differently. Just put a post in the Discord and the community tab and called it a day. But as we increase production, we wanted to increase your viewing experience. So, your boy Cass Connors, Dakota, and Valente will be doing a bit of a, if you've seen the NFL draft, the NBA draft, we're going to take an approach to that. So, first I want to get some just things out of the way. 2K25 will be the game we remain on for the build 2 and the actual event itself of Revolution. So, you're not going to see arena changes for Renegade or Valor until at post-Revolution, but you will see intro changes. We're going to implement the draft stars that y'all see tonight into the intros, and then Revolution's arena is going to be the same as last year's as well, just to narrow our workload leading and trying to get stuff prepared for 2K26. I hope y'all understand with that, are cool with that.
Yep.
And let's get into the notes for tonight. So, as always with the UKW draft, women's and tag teams are cross-branded, so they are not eligible to be drafted. But for the first time in UKW history, champions will be drafted. As well, the wildcard case holder, Kareem Honey Badger Hall, is ineligible to be drafted and will gain the roster spot of the brand he chooses to cash in on. So, big notes. Win or lose. Big notes for Honey Badger Hall.
It's huge.
It's gonna be huge. I wonder if the roster spot on either brand is gonna play into which title he cashes in on too, because that's interesting.
Heart of the champion, maybe he doesn't want to do it.
This is also the thing, like, that we haven't got a chance to talk about this, but Renegade's got the first overall pick. Do they go with the World Heavyweight Championship, or do they take Chris Slava? And we've got time on the clock, 58 seconds as I'm speaking, and that's where we got to start thinking in. Does Renegade go with Gavin Ashton, the new World Heavyweight Champion, or do they take Chris Slava?
That is a good point.
Yeah, I think the smart decision, 1000%, is to go with a champion, period. I don't think this draft really starts until we get all the champions out of the way, because you don't want to give the other roster, the other brand, any leeway or an extra championship that you don't have. So I do think the pick is either Chris Slava or Gavin Ashton. It's just whichever one they want at that point.
The two top dogs coming off the board first, I do think that is the best way to go for it, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. Do you go with Ashton or do you go with Slava, who may, to a lot of people, have a better performance at Pinnacle? But as the clock comes down, let's see who Renegade selects. UKW Renegade selects.
I've been taking my time, figuring out how to further my climb, reach the summit I vow, to never give in, push myself till I found a way to control this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds on the clock, so we're going to have to be quick in between rounds. But Gavin Ashton goes first to Renegade, so I'm pretty sure that it's pretty clear who Valor's going to take here. And that's going to be the submission magician, Chris Slava.
Oh, for sure. And with that great pick there by Renegade, I think Valor starts off the same way and continues to take the best option available.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best player available. There's no way, to beat around that bush at all.
UKW Valor selects. All right, so Chris Slava off the board. This pick's a little bit interesting to me, Dakota, because you have the Internet Championship, who's been on the rise, but then the International Championship over on Valor, which for a long time in UKW was considered the second top prize.
Indeed, and I'm excited to see where this pick goes right here for them. I gotta say though, Cass, whatever option they choose here, I think it's gonna be the right one going down to the wire. Each and every one of these superstars are gonna be great. Here we go.
No spotlight, shadows boxing, pitch black streets where the rebels locked in. Synth wave cutting through the pitch, no stopping. Drums hitting harder than the questions they be dodging. Shadow boxing, no escape, we locking. Heartbeats.
All right, guys, after the selection of the Internet Championship and Leon Cruz, you gotta think that this is Yamashita here. This is the international title, but it could be the Pride Heavyweight title, depending on how Valor views those two championships.
Yeah, there really is no wrong pick here unless you don't pick the champion. There are two championships you can go after, whether it be Yamashita, the new international champion, or Tiger Brown, the new Pride champion, but I really want to see how they go here.
So now, with the drafting of the International Championship for Valor, you've got to wonder, does Renegade stick with what it knows with the Cruiserweight Championship and with Levon Clark? Or could we see the burst shift up? And could Renegade go with the Pride Heavyweight title?
I for sure think Renegade sticks with the Cruiserweight Championship. It's been there for a long time now. I think it's a homage championship to their brand. If they go different here, Cass and Valente, it will shock me.
Dressing all black like the Reaper. When she go down, I can keep her. Digging this grave a little deeper. When I resurface, wanna see her. No, we don't live in the past. Live in the moment, you know it don't last. Straight in the trauma to get me alive. When it's over, we just leave.
All right, now, the first big shift up on the draft just happened. Tiger Brown going to Renegade with the Pride Heavyweight title. I think, personally, yeah, you could go BPA, but I do think this has to be the Cruiserweight Champion and Levon Clark.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that is BPA. Not to mention you get a championship of your own, but you get a really damn good competitor in Levon Clark who will really take on anybody. He will be a leader for your brand.
All right, guys. Now all the champions have been taken, so it's finally time to get into the BPA on who these guys in the draft rooms think are the best available wrestlers to be taken. I'm interested who Renegade thinks that is.
I'm right there with you. It could be Shane Roach. It could be A Stone, King Amir. It could be all kinds of guys. Adam Beiser. It could be Christian Winters. Whoever it is, Renegade's going to get a good selection here.
Okay, Renegade just took the former UKW World Heavyweight Champion, Tyler Drake. Do we see that potentially here for Valor? Do they go A Stone? Do they go Christian Winters, who just competed in the Pinnacle main event? I'm a bit interested here what the pick is for Valor.
I think Tyler Drake was the right pick for Renegade, but, you know, at this point, we're talking about best player available. In my opinion, I think that's A Stone. I mean, he's on a completely different level, but let's see where Valor goes.
All right, so Rio De Niro selected for Valor, a massive shift up. Rio had never been on the Valor roster. That's interesting. Now, who does Renegade go with to counteract Valor's pick?
Well, I'd like to see Renegade go with a guy, maybe a powerhouse like King Amir or TJ Frost. That would be a good pick here for me to see if Renegade can't get that in early. There's a top guys, especially with King Amir, the king that rules the ring. Let's see what they do here.
All right, guys, Azrael, the former Pride heavyweight champion, the man that went toe-to-toe with Christian Winters, is heading over to Renegade. Renegade and Valor have swapped elite talent into Nero and Azrael.
It's weird to think gonna see those two on different rosters, but this next pick, I'm really interested to see who it is. Like I said, in my opinion, Ace Stone is the best player available, so I'd like to see him go as soon as possible for one of these brands.
I'm better. I'm the best thing walking. No one's gonna take my shine. The best now and forever. And nameless for a reason. I do what I want on my own time. So everybody get back.
All right, guys. A bit shocking there. Austin Wallace taken and going over to Valor. I'm gonna be honest, guys. That's the first pick that I kind of look at and I hesitate because there's still elite talent on the board. Some that I would value over Wallace.
No doubt in my mind. I mean, you have Ace Stone and the Dark Horse Shane Root still on the board. I 100% value them more. I want Renegade to put a stamp in this draft by picking one of those two right now.
I was raised with a backhand, yes sir and no ma'am, crushing every problem with a coke can. Yeah, I learned a lot of lessons, know not who to mess with, take it out back like a real man.
All right, Renegade just took Shane Roach, and now it is penciled in stone that on the season premiere of Season 9 on Renegade, Shane Roach will take on Gavin Ashton in the main event for the World Heavyweight title.
That's going to be big to see if the Dark Horse can get back on the horse, finally gain back a World Championship. But here's the thing, man. Ace Stone is still on this board. When is he going to get taken?
All right, the former internet champion, the Bayou bad boy, Andre Simmons, just went over to Valor. So another big shift up. Simmons never going to Valor. But when is the former Valor heavyweight champion, Ace Stone, going to be taken?
Well, that's a great question. And if I'm Renegade right now and Ace Stone is still on the board like he is, I am hitting the trigger and I'm calling it in. This is the pick I want them to make, and that brand will shoot for the stars.
All right, Ace Stone finally off the board. I got to think that that was the best player available for Renegade to take. But now you got to wonder who is the best available for Valor to take, because you have the former Pride Heavyweight Champion, Leroy Monet. You have a lot of guys on the board. Adam Visor, former Cruiserweight Champion. I really do wonder who's the best pick here.
I don't know, man, but my mock draft just already messed up, man. Ace Stone, I had him going a lot higher. I'm surprised it took him so long to go off the board.
The shit a parade. I see you watching me float, my back on the ropes, I'm coming for change. I put the money on me, and if I was you, I would do the same. You watching the rise of a king, I work like a champion, I need a ring. Yeah, I need a ring, you know what it is, this shit a parade. People are talking, haters are watching, somebody spit me.
All right, guys, now who is the pick going to be for Renegade here? You got to think you are looking to build up the titles that you have. So the Pride Heavyweight title division, the Internet Championship division, and also contenders that can compete strong challengers to Gavin Ashton.
No doubt, and you mentioned the Pride Championship. I would like to see a returning guy, the American Dragon, Joshua Garcia, come back to Renegade here if they can.
All right, so King Amir just went. Who's the pick now for Valor? You got to start to look. Who does Valor have? Like, what championships do they got? Cruiserweight Championship, International title, and the Valor World Heavyweight Championship held by the Submission Magician Chris Love.
I'll tell you who it's not going to be. It's not going to be JJ Hayes. You want to know why? Because they want to keep his head on straight. And, you know, this past week, it got taken off.
So what you know about sacrifice when the lights go out? The price to pay when you're digging down.
All right, we saw the last pick from Valor and Christian Winters go. So I'm a bit curious now, as the draft pool starts to get lower and lower, what's Renegade's eye here?
Indeed, and I think after King Amir, A-Stone, Shane Roach, and the entire bunch so far, I wonder where Renegade's going to go to continue making this brand even better. I would like to see them go versatile here and expand.
The skies are mine.
All right, so Mason Andrews just went for Renegade. Renegade keeping one of their picks and also adding to their newly established Pride division. So I'm interested who Valor's going to go with now. You got to think they got that new Cruiserweight Championship that they took from Renegade. Do they add to that, Valente?
I have no clue, but I really love that Mason Andrews pick. I believe Mason Andrews is going to go down as one of the most underrated picks in this draft. But let's see how Valor does.
Okay, Valor just went and added to their Cruiserweight division with Bradley Ralph, who can also, as we saw, go toe-to-toe with Alex Young at Pinnacle, could compete in some of the other divisions as well. Do we see Renegade kind of look to do the same thing here?
I would like to see somebody who maybe was formerly on the Valor roster head over to Renegade and is able to get in these championship divisions. I want to see somebody who's going to come into Renegade and really make an impact.
Pantera selected for Renegade, a kind of blockbuster pick late in the rounds. One of the breakout tournament guys who never really had a distinct brand earlier before the draft. So this is very interesting.
He had a solid showing in that Pride Chamber, and you know, going in the 10th round, you have that little bit of a chip on your shoulder to prove really what you're capable of, and that's really been what his whole career has been about so far.
You ran into a different room. Jumped to conclusions when you landed, left you with a bruise. You probably hate yourself, cause babe, I really hate you too. I guess I always did, it's never really nothing new. So I'll show all my statements, I'll run up all my numbers, I'll leave you.
Lee Maury Monet drafted to Valor, but one thing we gotta kind of lock in on, guys, is y'all know tag teams are not drafted. Lee Maury Monet was drafted as a singles. So what is the case with him and Nathan Hammerstone?
Well, I would be shocked if the pick is in and it's Nathan Hammerstone here for Renegade. But guys, we're going to have to see what it is here.
All right, guys, we just saw the pick previously before Renegade took their pick of Lee Moore and Monet to Valor. And Valente, this is the first time you got to speak on it. It's kind of still shocking me. The inclusion of both Lee and Hammerstone into the draft pool.
Yeah, I know seeing them drafted separately is a little weird, and it leaves a weird taste in our mouth. Like, what happened at Pinnacle? Is that final? Are they done as a team? Is it over for them?
All right, so Nathan Hammerstone now the pick for Valor, which is very interesting. I guess we're going to have to watch some Valor programming starting not this coming up next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. But Hammerstone joining Monet over on Valor.
Indeed, and I'm excited for that. But what I'm really excited for here, Cats, is which way Renegade will lead. Still a lot of talents on the board. Connor Irwin, Ricari Monroe, Joshua Garcia. Where will they go?
In the shadow of giants I stand tall. Thought I was lost, but now I know it all. Fears and doubts like walls they fall. I carve my path, walk through the cold.
All right, Coda said it, and there it was. Joshua Garcia goes to Renegade and joins a slew of other superstars, but is Season 9 the season for the American Dragon?
Well, that'll be a ton of fun to figure out now that he's on the brand with Gavin Ashton. Maybe he wants a championship of his own in the future. But Valor still got some talent on the board. They still got some great talent to pick from. Let's see where they go.
40 black and gold, shit be looking like steel is drip. Tim's with a lace loose, talking heavy but never hit. Fuck out, tell him spin again, we got 100 rounds. Tag his brim, 3 to the cap, boy looking like he running town. Look what you spark, I'm running plays like I'm damn on the logo. Toss with a lot, bang bros, if she ain't with it, she gotta go though. Shorty hit my line, said bring that 9-piece. Her pops home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Prince now was the pick. And as we await Renegade to make their selection, Jason Prince did a hell of a job establishing his name, but wonder who Renegade's going to go with here.
I think what we can see here and what I'd like from Renegade is to get somebody versatile, a guy who will fight for your brand, and they've had him in Adam Beiser, maybe Parker Peterson. Will they come back towards that brand?
The Bad Aussie was the pick for Renegade, joining his mentor Shane Roach. And much like we thought stuff was over at Rumble in the Bronx, it's clear to show after last night with Pinnacle Night 1 and Night 2 that you gotta wonder, is Connor fully over it?
I definitely don't think so. I think there's still something there with his former mentor, but now it's time to see where Valor goes. Still a lot of great talent in the field.
Go. All right. Vampiro taken from Valor, a guy that can provide heavy assistance in that World Heavyweight and International title divisions. Little too hefty for the Cruiserweight.
Indeed, and I'm wondering where Renegade leans here with a lot of good opportunities on the board with great competitors. Guys, I think Renegade has an opportunity to take a guy maybe like Wave, maybe a guy like Adam Visor or Parker Peterson. Let's see which way they will lean.
Yeah, tunnel vision locked in, no permission. They threw dirt up on my name, but I rose out the trenches. Pressure made a diamond, now they study how I glisten. If they try to block the path, I turn the pain into ambition. Walking heavy with a purpose, I ain't moving for the show. I done battled with my shadows, now I'm ready for the smoke. Every setback.
Go. All right, Kai Cash taken, and maybe then Renegade has a lot in hope for Cash. Cash was a guy that on the last episode of Renegade really showed a lot of fight in that match he showed against Leon Cruz and really took the now internet champion to his limit.
We're starting to see some breakout tournament guys fall off the board, and makes you think, does Valor go with another breakout tournament guy? Because they went with Jason Prince just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, man, I just love being different, that's all I can say. They acting real complex, they talking in a phase. When I get up out the bed, I need an ace of spades, and I'll be with Gutter, cause he know the real estate. I could never be a...
Adam Visor taken from Valor, and that actually makes a lot of sense, Dakota, staying over with the Cruiserweight Championship. And also, many might be wondering why Visor fell this late, is because many are unaware of his health status after the attack from now Cruiserweight Champion Levon Clark post-match at Pinnacle.
It's very valid for them to think that way. He fell down, but it's not the end. He's going to shoot up to the stars. We know the future set in his own is great. We're going to see where Renegade goes with this pick.
You saw Wave just got taken there. Renegade starting to round out its roster. Wonder if Valor is going to take the same approach with this pick here today, Valente.
And you gotta think, you also want someone that could float between, multiple divisions like the International Championship and the Cruiserweight division. But it's gonna be an interesting pick. I'm really curious to see, what they do to round out their roster.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Parker Peterson off the board there for Valor. Now we're going to wonder who comes off the board for Renegade here.
That is the question, and now we're getting into the later rounds. Only, I think, 2 more picks left. These are the picks that I'm excited for, Cass and Valente. These are the ones that are going to set the 2 brands apart and the ones that are going to make it to where whoever it is might be the one to put their brand over the edge here in this draft.
I've been lost since my empty beginning. I ain't dying tonight. What's the cost? What's the price of forgiveness? Am I wasting my time?
Go. The Heavenly Demon, Ricari Monroe, taken by Renegade. And if you really think about it, that's really a steal to spite Valor, because Ricari is a guy that very much could have fit under that cruiserweight mold. So it's a bad pick for Valor to lose there.
Yeah, and I would have loved that pick for Valor. But we're nearing the end of this thing. There's not much talent left on the board. Valor's got to make a good pick here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sway Strickland was the pick for Valor. Now Renegade closes in on its round 17th and final pick. Who will be the pick for the gold brand?
That is the question, and as it is the final pick in this draft for Renegade, guys, I'm really hoping they make a splash. I want to see something unexpected. I want to see a guy that will come in and be completely unexpected to this brand and its competitors on it. Who will Renegade choose?
Go. All right, we saw the show go at round 17 for Renegade. Now fully cleared for in-ring competition. But who's going to be the pick for Valor?
Oh, it's good to see Orlando Silver back, and I wonder if Valor's going to take the same route. I wonder if there's anybody that's looking to make their way back that's still, in the pool. I know there's still a couple of names available, but let's see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the draft has concluded. Renegade has its 17 picks. Valor has its 17 picks. We have the tag teams and women's cross-branded, 2 women's championships now. And do not forget that April 8th, the main event, as the Dark Horse, Shane Roach, and the new UKW World Heavyweight Champion, Gavin Ashton, go head-to-head in your main event. Bye, guys.